Now let's revisit this question, and I'm just going to explore using Desmos to draw the graph. Consider the problem of joining a local gym. You have two choices, both of which have excellent facilities and are equally convenient for you to visit. How can you decide between the two? Well, why not compare the costs? Gym A charges $170 upfront and $20 per month. Gym B charges $50 upfront and $50 per month. Write an equation that models the cost of Gym A and Gym B. Use C to represent the cost and T to represent the months. Create a graphical model for both sets of costs. Use the same set of axes both for cost lines. Now let's explore using the Desmos graphing calculator to do this. What I like about Desmos is I can use any letter I want to use. C equal 20t plus 170. And the other one was C equals 50t plus 50. If you note, I can't see my graphs very well because the Desmos screen goes from minus 10 to 10 on the x values and minus 6 to 6 on the y values. So I'd have to go to my setting tool to change the settings. I'm going from 0 to say 12 months for the year if I'm looking at 1 year. And I usually try going from 0 and see I'm having up to 170. I can try different numbers. I tried 200, still can't see the answer. So let's try 800. I can see my point of intersection directly. So I know 4 and 250 are my points of intersection. Now I might want to have my axes clearer and the title of my axes in my graph. So I'm looking, that's minus 100. I mean, that's positive 100, easily seen. So if I want to see my y values or I want to put something on my axes, I can put minus 50 and I can see my x-axis now. If for my y, I put -1, I can see my y-axis now. Now I can use the tool icon and add a label for x. My x values were the time in months, and my y value were a cost in dollars. I can see my axes clearer now. And if I touch my point of intersection, I get the coordinate immediately. Now, if I want to have a picture of this graph, I introduced you to, you can either go to share graph and export image. You can take a look at the graph if you want to change the type of the size of the square, if you want to show more of the graph, medium lines, thick lines to make it brighter, and you download the graph and share it or copy and paste it into your work. Or I use my snipping tool to create a picture of the graph where I can just take a picture of my graph immediately and share it. Now this is how and if you use the snipping tool, you just go to edit, copy, and you can paste it. So this is what I would do if I had to show images of my graph. Or this is a nice software to use in this case.